Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of In Conversation by Advisor Coach. Today, in conversation, our guest is Mr. Sidharth Damani, Head Investor Education and Distribution Development with Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Welcome, Sidharth, to In Conversation with Advisor Coach today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Suren. Appreciate and pleasure to be here.
Always our pleasure. Always our pleasure. Sidharth, I was going through your, journey of experience and 28 years with Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Wow. People don't have that kind of experience which you spent in one organization. So if you could just take our viewers through about your, investment management, your asset management journey, as well as your journey with Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund.
So thanks for the compliments to start. And yes, I joined as a management trainee way back in 1998 at the ABSL MF. It was a very different time, for the mutual fund industry. It was at a very early stage. Then, the awareness was very, very low. The penetration was limited. And also at the same time, we were building the foundation for long-term wealth creation. And that's a culture which we want to promote. And I think that's what excited me about the industry so much, fresh from the oven, a campus hire. And
Mm-hmm.
the journey has been fantastic, I would like to tell you, Suren, because you've seen things evolving over the last so many years. And I was just going through, I was just doing some data crunching, and then the industry AUM was just 75,000 crores, and today we're like 82 lakh crores. It's a huge, long journey.
Haven't
And
we
for
come a
us,
long
as
way?
you're right, and at ABSL MF also, we were just under 8,000 crores of asset under management. We are much ahead today in terms of managing more than 4.5 lakh crores. So I think
Right.
that's been the journey. And for me specifically, of course, had a privilege of being in various functions in the organization, and I'm thankful the organization for trusting me for that. So I've headed various functions from sales and distribution, marketing, digital products, communication, and over the last 1 year, I do take care of the investor education, distribution development function, and this by far is something very close to my heart, and that's what I live and I'm very passionate about. Especially when you get to know both the sides so well, investors as well as the distributor, and I think it reinforces the core belief that we are just not managing money, but we are enabling dreams and financial security. I think that's been in brief what I've done. And to honestly to summarize it, in one line, I would say that consistency compounds, Suren. In everything what you do, whether it's in investing, whether it's in life, and so when you stay committed to cycles, I'm sure growth is inevitable. I think that's been my
Absolutely.
firm belief, and I think that's where the whole investment journey and the wealth creation journey which we talk about is and very happy to be part of the industry. And this is what I only know about asset management. Yeah.
So, such a veteran from the industry. One question is that आपको लगता है कि our industry is still a sunrise industry? Or have we, where are we right now?
According to me, I think we are still, I would say sunrise, yes, but then of course it's evolved quite a bit. We all know the at the pace what it's grown over the last 4 5 years. I think everyone's been talking that what has India done and what have
Hmm.
Indians done to make it so popular, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. Of course, still under penetrated, still 6 crores unique fans, and still we are talking about. The investors growing. We're adding almost like a crore investors every year. But I think
Very
what
true.
excites me and what motivates me and us as an industry is at the pace which we are growing, and of course, from savers to investors. I think that's the big transformation happening in India and Bharat, and I'm sure it's only going to get pace further. And at the same time, I think the experience what and the performances what we've delivered, and that also within the regulatory framework which is so active and robust, keeping the customer at the center.
Absolutely. I think the key takeaway, what you said, is from savers to investors. Very, very important. And that's how the mutual fund, proposition is being really, really catching a lot of importance. Tell me, Siddharth, what is this Nippon? I've heard so much about this Nippon. About the distribution community. You've started this program. Could you take our viewers more about Nippon?
Yeah, so as we all know, distributors continue to be such an important pillar for the growth of the industry. Whatever numbers I just talked about, which everyone's aware.
Hmm.
So when we sat down almost 11 years back, thinking that what more can we do for our distribution
Hmm.
partners, especially in such an evolving, you know, uh, you know, scenario at the same time, so many developments happening. You know,
Hmm.
uh, it's a flagship distributor capability initiative launched by ABSL MF 11 years back, as I mentioned. And I think the core focus is that it empowers our MFDs, with knowledge, skills, and tools required to succeed in such a rapidly evolving landscape.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we thought that can we contribute and partner with them in this regard. So to put it very simply, Suren, it's basically there are three pillars what we really focus on when we come to Nippon. And as you know, Hindi mein Nippon matlab you have it's something to do with building confidence, building capability, and at the same time being more more versatile and more up to date.
Yes.
So if you ask me that, those three pillars, according to us, where we really focus on is, I think first one is, of course, very important, as I mentioned, is capability building. And
Hmm.
capability building can be whether it's in terms of strengthening your business, advisory, or the whole thing about practice management skills. I think that's one of the first pillars which we focus on through these programs. Second, of course, the adoption of technology. I think it's inevitable
Yes.
because it enables distributors to understand and leverage various digital tools which we're going to be talking about later on today in terms of you know importantly that how it increase their efficiency and make them grow. uh,
Hmm.
and of course the third pillar is the whole thing which everyone's so passionate about, is the investor centric approach. Because that uh, the question is helping our partners deliver better outcomes and at the same time experiences to their investor. So I
Yeah.
think this is where the focus of Nippon has been over the last 11 years. Basically, to sum it up, as I said, it aims to transform our distribution partners from becoming holistic financial planners than just being very transactional. So I would like to put
True.
it this way, that that's where these training programs and interventions what we do through Nippon are focused on.
Fantastic. So very rarely we see, such kind of programs which are available to educate, distribution partner, empower them better. So एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर किस तरीके से how can he participate in this Nippon?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the idea originated from a simple observation that distributors are the backbone of the
Hmm.
mutual aid industry, as I mentioned. Yet, Suren, many operate as individuals or these small entrepreneur businesses.
Hmm.
And at times, this is a problem statement which we heard from our distribution partners, that at times they feel that the access to structured capability building is something they really look forward to. So we felt that why don't we partner in this growth of theirs, because we genuinely want the industry to grow, but the industry grows when our partners also grow. And I think Nippon has been one of that initiative in terms of commitment to that philosophy what I mentioned. So participation is very simple. That distributors can enroll through their relationship managers. We have got relationship managers and our branch network geographical expansion across the country, where it's available in terms of what all programs are going on. And of course there's a registration mode also, where they can go on, which are offline and online. So the idea is very, very clear that these modules are designed with a focus on being very practical, but also at the same time they're actionable and immediately implementable. So I think that's how the whole thing is. And there's a dedicated website at our end for that,
I
where
see.
where
Hmm.
it's all available. And more importantly, which I mentioned, is of course there are times when we co-create such modules also, because it's not that what we think, it's more important that what is the need of our distribution partners. in terms of what would they like to to go through. So we all know over the last few years, of course, it's been there for decades, but the importance of asset allocation has become so important, especially as we grow. So we also run a module called the Edge of Asset Allocation, which we've been running it for the last 5-7 years, but the idea is to refresh it continuously, which is according to the current times.
Sure. So very interesting. मतलब कि आप फीडबैक लेते रहते हैं फ्रॉम द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पार्टनर्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ निपुण में और क्या ऐड करना चाहिए बिकॉज ऑन
जी,
ग्राउंड रियलिटी आपको मिलती रहती है हमेशा फिर
नहीं, वो बहुत जरूरी है,
बहुत
बिकॉज
जरूरी
जब तक
है।
हमें नहीं हम उनसे पूछेंगे नहीं कि आपको क्या चाहिए, आई थिंक इट्स इट कांट बी अ पार्टनरशिप, इट कांट बी विन विन. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट वी फर्मली बिलीव इन.
सो अप्रोक्सीमेटली हाउ मेनी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पार्टनर्स आर पार्टिसिपेटिंग आपके निपुण में इस वक्त
So,
जस्ट नंबर।
Surenji, I think when as I said that we started almost 11 years back, and in the last 11 years हमने कुछ लगभग 5,000 programs किए हैं,
अच्छा
and
5,000।
5,000 programs, and we've been able to uh, you know you know I would say train or do these interventions with approximately 25,000 MFDs across the
ब्रिलियंट।
country.
वंडरफुल।
And if you were to ask कि हमने कितने मॉड्यूल किए होंगे, ये लगभग 50 से ज्यादा मॉड्यूल्स है. And of course we keep growing. So this is the, I think in terms of numbers, I think that's what it is. And I would say still just going much more stronger on this, because when we started, of course, most of it was more physical, but thanks to technology and of course COVID and beyond, uh, you know uh, to reach to the length and breadth of the country, and we are doing these online also. So it's a combination of offline and online, as I mentioned.
Brilliant, brilliant. So recently, Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund has launched business transformation model through Gen AI for their distribution partners. ये exactly क्या है? And how will a mutual fund distributor benefit out of this Gen AI?
So of course, this is the buzzword as we talk about. There's a AI conference going on in Delhi also.
Yes, yes.
But then, of course, it's not fashionable. I would say it is something which is a must today. So to put it very simply, it's a first of its kind, a structured program focused on helping our distribution partners to transform their business operations through Gen AI. To put it very simply, and I think this answer is going to be a bit elongated from my side, but I'll try to simplify it further. The key features of this program, Surenji, is of course that how AI can benefit client communication. We all know about personalizing WhatsApps, emails, SMS campaigns, but what we're talking about, AI helping you to personalize this for your investors. Secondly, of course, it is the whole next gen CRM creation, where you can segment your customers or investors. You can send reminders to them on specific things. And at the same time, the whole thing about life cycle management using the simple tools. More importantly, today I think everyone's on social media. That can they be ready to use campaigns and content through digital presence? Very important uh, for our partners. More important, since we talk about advisory, converting these whole complex financial data into investor friendly insights. Because there's so much barrage of news flow and information which is coming, which of course can be done. And the whole thing about analytics and talking about sentimental analysis, performance insights, and I think more importantly, Suren, is the what can be the next best conversation or action be from a customer point of view. Uh, and I think it's very important today that I think India is such a diverse country that people, whatever said and done, investors, whatever said and done, would like to you know you know be communicated or read or listen to something which is more regional. I think AI allows you to do that at a click of a button. It's so
Very true.
simple. And more importantly, I think through this program, we are also, focusing on that. There's a right choice of word how you communicate to your customers. So, we have created more than 100 ready to use templates which our distribution partners can use on a day-to-day basis to communicate to the client effectively. So this is this is a key thing. And I think more importantly here is these modules are focused, with an approach that, they are very practical in terms of adoption and not
Sure.
theory. So that, our distribution partners can really start implementing AI immediately. It's not that, you have to be a super wizard to be doing it. And I think that's the reason, once we are doing this program, there's a very well chalked out 30-day action plan to start
Mm.
implementing Gen AI for our distribution partners. And we also will do certain interventions also later on. So this, according to us, is the gist in terms of what we are trying to do, but to do it very, very simply, but at the same time making sure that it's very effective and and the impact is very high.
Sure, sure. So sure a lot of trainings must be happening for distributors as to how to utilize this Gen AI in the most effective manner. Tell me, Siddharth, how does it help a distributor for a increase in the business and most importantly, the pain point called time management?
Very important. I think there are limited hours in a day, and there's so much to deal with, and at the same time, so much news flows to deal with. And of course, in such a fast growing industry like ours.
Mm,
So I think thanks for asking this question, because Gen AI fundamentally improves two things according to me.
mm,
One is productivity, since you mentioned about it, and scalability. I think it's all
mm,
about scale at the
mm,
same
mm,
time.
mm,
So to give you some points and data points which I'm going to be sharing with you, is I think that, if you see a typical day of a distribution partners, a decent amount goes in terms of routine reminders, reporting, communication. I think which is the core to the business. So we are talking about that how Gen AI can lead to a reduction of that routine task. And the
mm,
data
mm,
suggests
mm,
that it can go. I think the reduction can be as high as 40 to 60% of the time can be reduced when they start using Gen AI on this basic mundane day-to-day thing routine what they follow. And
mm,
also, to put it also one way is that advisor can handle a large investor base without increasing his manpower.
mm,
It's not that for more investors you add, you need more manpower to handle it. So you can increase your capacity, but at the same time not increase your manpower in your office. The technology can also take care of some part of it, for sure. And as I mentioned to you, you're different, I'm different, y x is all different. But AI today gives you that power to personalize the communication. I think which ultimately ensures that there's more trust element which gets built between the advisor and the investor, and more importantly retention of clients, which is
mm,
also
mm, mm.
very, very important. So we've seen the data suggesting that a 25% rise in terms of client satisfaction, and via personalized communication itself. And these are proven data globally. And
Wow.
and why can't it happen here? And it is, and I think more importantly, since you mentioned, the time saved can be certainly redirected in terms of relationship building and business development. So I think
Absolutely
that's
correct.
the key intent, or key focus what we are talking about. So net, I would say that this combination naturally leads to higher efficiency, and at the same time improved client satisfaction, and business growth for sure.
Absolutely.
And I'll give you two examples which we did in a pilot when we were before launching this module of ours. And we the first one was in Indore, where we saw an MFD, but when he used a simple intervention in terms of auto reminders to his customers, his or her
Mm,
customers, that led to almost 26%. That's the what the MFD has mentioned. 26% improvement in terms of on-time SIP execution.
wow.
Just basic reminders in terms of SIP expiry, SIP performance, and at the same time, also step up SIP, for example, as I mentioned. So what, it's not bare numbers. It is this ensured that the investors are gently reminded at the right time, and at the same time, you're building that habit of consistency in terms of investments,
True.
and it significantly improves and strengthens the financial discipline, what everyone talks about. So this is one
Absolutely.
example. The second one was in Pune, where
Ah,
we saw, which I mentioned to you sometime back, in terms of regional communication, that by leveraging AI to translate market updates in Marathi,
Hmm.
communication became more relatable and accessible to this MFD's investors. So basically, what happened that this regional connect resulted into impressive 2x growth for this MFD of ours in terms of
Hmm.
investor engagement, and at the same time proving that language personalization can really have a dramatic impact in terms of the distribution business, and of course wealth regeneration for the customer itself. So, I think what we're trying to say is that together these stories, which I just mentioned to you about thoughtfully use of AI, drives efficiency, engagement, at the same time growth across different markets. So I think these are the key things which really I get so excited when I talk about it, because I'm still learning, to be very honest to you, and it's evolving, but at the same time, you have to be doing it for sure. There's no
नहीं,
choice.
I completely agree because क्या होता है कि देखिए cost reduction is always very important and it's a journey and it's a dynamic journey and improvising the efficiency is the key most required element for increasing your overall business efficiency, correct? So I think it is addressing everywhere. Better time management, like आपने example दिया about this SIPs, you know, कितने इन्वेस्टर्स को तो याद भी नहीं रहता कि उनकी एसआईपी डेट एक्चुअली आ रही है उस दिन, एक्सेट्रा. सो इट्स ऑल ऑटोमेटेड.
Yes,
It's all automated, मतलब कि you
yes.
don't have to uh, tell some staff to send it. It's all getting automated. And even SIP expiries, because that is something which is a big dent in the industry that, SIPs expire. There's no one actually to cater to them.
And in fact, we've had when we are doing these live sessions today, and we are making our MFDs do it. I think it's
Hmm.
like on the go. So
Right.
maybe at the beginning it may sound complicated, but when you are actually doing it, you realize that, oh, I didn't know it was so simple. Yes,
No, I absolutely, because when distributors come up and they say indirectly, this program Nippon and of course the Gen AI has helped us in increasing our business. It's such a sense of attachment
agreed.
that you've been an integral part of their growth journey, and when they come and share these testimonials and these stories with you, it only motivates you to deliver more.
Yeah, and do more, and
Absolutely. Do more.
do more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
So, Siddharth, so today through this conversation, what message, would you would like to give to all the distribution partners listening to you about, this Nipun as a program and of course this Gen AI?
Okay. So, before I answer that question, I just want to, just try to rewind and refresh in terms of
Hmm.
what we've done through these initiatives. Is, of course, as I mentioned, of course, the focus is very, very clear. That how do we, partner with our distribution friends in terms of the whole business practice management. That's very important. One thing which I wanted to just highlight is, of course, we also do certification programs, Suren, through
I
NIP.
see. Okay.
So I'm about to mention that to you, that we do something called certified financial goal plan or advanced financial goal planning.
Oh,
Where we certify our distribution partners through one of external agency, and we will be happy to hear that we've already certified 10,000 goal planners across the country in the last few years. I think
excellent.
that's one thing, and what it has led to is, of course, higher you know client acquisition, at the same time retention, through whether it is in terms of SIPs, lump sum, and at the same time improve client servicing. And more importantly, it's been our small contribution to the industry. We've been able to create many 100 crore plus MFDs in terms of AUM, and we're very happy to see them growing and contributing to the industry. Such a noble cause, I always say, when it
No, this
comes
is such
to
so commendable. So commendable.
yeah. So coming to the question of yours in terms of, I am no person to give a message to our partners. They're like, super active in terms of knowledge and everything. But if you were to ask me to put it in a very simple way, Suren, my simple thing is that the future belongs to those who actually evolve, and
Right.
especially when it comes to technology. So I always say, and I think and with all honesty, that technology, especially AI, is not there to replace advisors. I think let's not get into that thing
Oh,
about
yes,
that
absolutely. Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to replace. It's here
I think we
to,
have debated that enough in
yeah,
the industry in the past, and nothing has happened.
yeah, and actually, it's here to empower them, I would say. That
Mm,
how do we make technology our friend? And
mm,
our distribution partners who adopt learning, embrace these tools which we just talked about, focus on more importantly, anything which is more investor centric. I can, there's no two doubts about it
mm,
that
mm.
that lead to the next phase of growth for them and our industry for sure. So to put it very simply, today, we all know there's so many young investors who are getting added to the industry. Data suggests more than 35% of the people getting added are less than 30 years old, in the
Mm,
mutual fund industry or in capital market. When we talk about these Gen Zs or these young population, they're joining the workforce, but at the same time, they're joining the workforce with more investable money in their
mm,
hand compared to what
mm.
I did in terms of when I started the work for came into the workforce. But then needs are very very unique. And
Sure.
when I say that needs are so unique that they are very very solution oriented at the same time, they want really fast. So
Mm,
I think that's where something like technology, Gen AI, can be used so efficiently, with this investor base. And through these Nippon AI modules is an opportunity for our advisors in one way, I would say, to future proof their practice,
mm,
and of course keep learning, keep evolving over time. And I would strongly encourage, request our distribution partners to to participate, experience, at the same time adapt today's needs by attending such sessions. I know make, or I would say make our life terrible as ABSL MF ki हमें program चाहिए,
yeah.
in the length and breadth of the country. And at ABSL MF we'll be super happy to do it, because if, it's not that necessary to do everything physically.
Mm,
These are typically 1.5 hour session with later interventions which can also be done online,
mm.
where technology provides you that. So then the idea is to reach out to more and more our advisors through this, and many more initiatives which we want to co-create with our distribution partners from here on also.
Absolutely. And anything on the social media part also you would like to touch upon through Nipun?
Yeah, so we are doing it. So through Gen AI also we are doing it, and we
Yeah.
run a program called how to increase your brand.
Mm. Increase your
How to increase your
brand. Okay.
brand, because
Okay.
our advisor is a brand.
Yes.
And these are soft skills. There we
Yes.
are not talking about products, so we are not talking about asset allocation, we're not talking about anything which is more product oriented. These are soft skill program. And
Yes.
through this program, we also have a dedicated section when it comes to how can you use social media to effectively be more visible. And जो हम बोलते हैं ना, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, but in this case जो दिखता है उस उनके साथ इन्वेस्टर पैसे लगाते हैं और इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. So I think that's uh, through that program also we cover. And also when I talked about this Gen AI program also, we are dedicated a section to the effect, as I mentioned, that effective use of social handles or social platform, and how you can integrate it with your system at a
Mm.
click of a button. And,
Brilliant.
to put it very simply, certain communication on social media can be calendarized also. You don't need to wake up on that particular day and think ki, these are my 100 investors or आज मुझे इनको ये भेजना है. And
Mm.
there, as I said, that it's templatized. There are like 100 such templatized communication what we've created. Of course, it's going to evolve, it's going to increase further and further. So there can be Instagram friendly, it can be LinkedIn friendly, or it can be WhatsApp friendly or email friendly.
Absolutely. Mm.
So
Absolutely.
so all this is possible today, and we do cover that in these programs.
Excellent. 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 So I think this is very important because today technology is not something to fear off with. Technology is to work along with, and it can help you in the growth of business exponentially. And particularly AI, there's a lot of fear, but I think once people understand what AI is all about, how it can increase their efficiency and bring down the overall cost of doing the business is going to be incredibly, adding down to their bottom line margins. And of course,
Yes,
the growth of the
certainly.
business.
And
Absolutely.
at the same time, expand and grow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because this business is all about volumes,
Yes.
and time management is key because what is priority, what is not priority, etc. All these tools really help you to do that. And I think this
And
is,
and Surenj, I think there's one more very important thing that, as I mentioned, every investor is different.
yes,
And the advisor knows that, that investor so well.
yes,
And when you customize it and personalize it in such a way where the investor start rightfully, gets
mm,
that feeling that, oh, ye mere liye hai. This was
mm,
meant for me. Just
mm,
imagine what a difference it makes in terms of
absolutely.
getting much more higher wallet share, you know, from that particular investor.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Now, this is a brilliant, brilliant program, I must say. So, well, for our viewers, this is Mr. Sidharth Damani, Head of Investor Education and Business Development with Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, talking about Nipun, the program which works for the distributors, along with the distributors, always standing like I would say, 360-degree around the distributor to help them grow their business. And with the Gen AI module, which has also been launched, I would highly recommend that more and more viewers, which are mutual fund distributors, should participate in this program of Nippon. And what I would also suggest is that must get in touch with the relationship managers across the Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund to see as to what can be done, to work and engage much more. So thank you very much for joining in today and taking our viewers through this wonderful initiative. Because आज के ज़माने में जो हर चीज़ बड़ी महंगी हो गई है, someone coming out and actually helping, to distributors to engage and understand technology much better is a I would say, initiative which Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund has taken. So thank you very
Suren,
much.
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, and always a pleasure to connect.
Always up.
And of course, these these ways it's only encourages us to do more and more, especially in our industry where, of course, distribution partners play such an important part for the overall growth. Thank you so much for inviting once again, and looking forward to connecting with our partners continuously.
Absolutely. In fact, thank you, Siddharth, for taking out time and taking our viewers through all this. So thank you so much. And I would request all our viewers, if you have not subscribed to the Advisor Coach YouTube channel, it's very simple. Just press on the subscription button to understand various such wonderful initiatives being taken just for you. Thank you, Siddharth.
Thank you.
Best wishes. Thank you very much.